Okay, hi. Okay, hi. I don't know why it wouldn't let me do this on my laptop, but I don't know why it wouldn't let me do this on my laptop. But here we are. I don't know why it wouldn't let me do this on my laptop. But here we are. But okay, hi Lauren. I have my Cersei copy here. Okay, is this working? Okay, is this working? Okay, is this working? Does this sound normal or is there an echo? Okay, is this sound normal or is there an You read the Kindle and listened to the audio. Okay. So you had a bit of both. Um, I don't think I did. Did I do the audio for this? I don't think I did. I think it was the Son of Achilles that I did, both the audio and Kindle. But, or did I do it for this? I don't know. But I remember the audio was really good for the one that I did. There's a little bit of an echo. Is it better now? Yeah, Son of Achilles, so good. And I got my brother both this one and the Son of Achilles for Christmas a couple years ago, and he just finished both for the movie, and he loved them. And I mean, I can see why. I adore Madeline Miller's writing. But okay, I don't know if I should look up like discussion questions. But what was your favorite part of the book? Yes, the prose. I, I absolutely love how poetic it is. And like my copy, it's just like so many underlines. Like, just so much. Because the way she describes everything is just so beautiful. And I like write little notes in mine too. Her rage, yes. I feel like this book is feminine rage, like, to the max. Like, the way Cersei gets to exert her power, and, you know, once she comes in tune with that, and how she's able to turn the men into pigs and, you know, really go ham with it. I adore that about this. It makes me so happy when she starts actually, like, using her power and not just trying to be like meek and mild and whatever. Yes, love annotations. And some of my annotations are kind of dumb. Like, I put little like eyeballs where I'm like, ooh. Like this part said, you may have other children, but not with him. Like, I was like, oh, okay. So sometimes my annotations are dumb, or I put little like broken hearts next to sad stuff. Like, this is when her mother said, a girl wrinkling her nose. And I'm like, oh, that's so sad to, you know, not be wanted and to be seen as less than just for being a girl. So yeah, a lot of my annotations are very like short, and then just a bunch of underlines too. Smiley faces, yeah, sometimes I'll do smiley faces, or I'll do like frowny faces, when something's like unhappy but not to the like point of being like heartbreak, for when I do the heartbreaks. But yeah, I love seeing people's annotations too. Like, I'm not like a big highlighter or like doodler yet, but I would love to get to that point, because when I see people's beautiful annotations on like Bookstagram, like, it always looks so beautiful and cozy and bookish. So I would like to get there eventually, but I'm not there yet. One of my favorite parts of the book was definitely when it kept going back to how do they bear it as best they can. I thought that was really like sad but true. Like, you don't really think you can get through things, but then you just do. Like, you just do whatever you can to keep going. A journal. That's smart. If you're using a library book, yeah, a journal to keep your thoughts cohesive, because otherwise I can't keep up with stuff. And I do that a lot when I read on Libby, when I have the audiobook checked out from Libby. I'll keep like a note on my phone and I'll type in notes that way. And then if there's like a lot accumulated, and if it's like a book that I think I'll want to reread in the future, then I'll purchase the actual book, and then I have my notes that I'll like transfer over to the chapters. But yeah, has anyone seen The Odyssey yet? I have not, but I'm hoping to this week, because I think it's not in theaters for much longer. But I'm interested to see like the difference between how Cersei's portrayed in the Odyssey movie versus in this book. Mixed reviews. Yeah, I've heard that too. Like, I feel like majority overwhelmingly I've seen that it's really great, and like that the visuals are stunning, which I can imagine, because most of Nolan's films, the visual portray women or like women's rage. So I'm curious to see, especially because this is my Cersei. So yeah, I'm interested to see if he can capture like depth, um, of a character. of a female character like that. You've heard really good things about it. Hoping to go watch it soon. Same. I'm not sure which author. Let me look it up. I know Anne Hathaway is in it, but I thought she was Odysseus's wife. And then isn't Zendaya in it as well? Which Zendaya is killing it. I still have to watch the new Spider-Man movie that just came out as well. Samantha Morton is what Google is telling me. I don't know who that is. Yeah, I don't know who this is, but Samantha Morton is what Google says. You love her. That's awesome. What is she in? What other movies? Huh. So I wonder who Zendaya's playing. Oh, Zendaya. Yes, I agree. Zendaya is my girl. Can't wait to see her in the Spider-Man movie, though I heard she only has like 13 minutes of screen time or something. And she's gonna be in Dune this year. I also saw her in, what was the wedding movie? Was it just The Wedding? With Robert Pattinson, the drama, that's what it was. I saw her in that earlier in the year. I'm gonna see her in the Odyssey. I'm gonna see her in the new Spider-Man movie. And then I'm gonna see her in Dune. Which in the previous Dune movie, Zendaya's character I felt like was the only one making sense. Like she seemed to be the only one with the logic. Not falling for the culty stuff. But yeah, I've never heard of that actress who plays Cersei either. But I'm curious to see. Okay, so let's see. What did you guys think about the cameos of other characters like Icarus and the other Greek mythology characters? I know I need to reread the original, or I'm not sure if I even read the Odyssey all the way through before, like in high school. So I think I need to read it for the first time, actually. And I have the Emily Wilson version, like right here, actually. So this one. So I want to read this version specifically because it's a female translator. And I heard that, like, she writes more like autonomy, or that she like translates it to have more like autonomy for like women and stuff. So I specifically got this version and it has the like deckled edges. So I need to actually read this, but I won't have time to before seeing the movie since it's only in theaters for not much longer. Dune was great. It's a complex story. Yeah, I haven't read the Dune books either because I feel like they just intimidate me with how long they are. But if you've read the books and would recommend, let me know. Maybe I could do it via audio. But I do kind of like that, like, chosen one to corruption arc storyline. I loved it in Star Wars. Anakin Skywalker is one of my favorite characters. And yeah, I just love that, like, chosen one / hero to corruption or villain arc. So yeah, it seems like an interesting, complex story. But I was definitely on Zendaya's side in part 2. I was like, what are these people doing? Like, why are they just following him? But I'm sure I'm missing a lot of context from the books. Haven't read Dune, just the movies. Okay, yeah, because they're like large, and there's a lot of them. So I don't know. But yeah, I haven't read the Odyssey since high school. Yeah, because I couldn't remember. I feel like I started the Odyssey in high school, but I don't think I actually finished it. I think I read like Beowulf and like Animal Farm and something else, but I don't think I actually read the Odyssey. But the Son of Achilles helped in remembering the story. Yeah. Yep. Which I know some people feel some type of way about Madeline Miller's retellings because they're written to have like certain like nuance and complexity and for you to empathize with them a bit. Like Achilles and the Son of Achilles. Like people are like, Madeline Miller can never make me like Achilles. And I get it. But to be honest, even reading Madeline Miller's retelling, like I still didn't like Achilles and the Son of Achilles. Like I was so upset at how he like he treated Patroclus at times and the women at times. So even though we saw him through Patroclus's eyes and we saw how like beautiful he looked to Achilles because Achilles is looking through rose-colored glasses. Achilles has so much love for him. Even though we're seeing him through Achilles's eye, or Patroclus's eyes in that book, like I still didn't particularly like him. Like I thought he had his moments. He had his moments where I liked him, but I didn't like him like all the way through. And I think if I like when I read the original stories, I think I will dislike him more. But that's kind of the beauty of retellings too. I feel like is it does give a little more like what if we saw into this character's point of view, or what if we saw in this character in this type of light, or through the eyes of someone they loved, or through this relationship or that. So I kind of like how, especially in Cersei, when Cersei is portrayed as a villain most other times, I like how there's more nuance added in Miller's books. I have not read Cleopatra. I wonder if I can screenshot my screen though, because I would like recommendations. Yeah. Okay, so I'll add that to my fable. Another woman brutalized by history. Yeah, up and through all of history. I just got gifted, what is it, 100 years of solitude yesterday for my birthday, and I talked to the lady up front at the skating place I was at because she was literally reading the book there, and I was like, oh my gosh, someone just gave me that book. And I asked her perspective on how it was because the person who gifted me the book, he said it's one of his favorite books of all time and it's so great. And then someone else who saw I had the book was like, oh, it's so good, it's so great. And then when I talked to her, she was like, it's a good book, but be forewarned that like women are very much like brutalized in it and whatnot. And I feel like, I don't know, I'm gonna read it, and I mean, I hope I'll like it. But I do find sometimes that I like retellings, like modern retellings, more sometimes, because sometimes I don't really like the way the brutality's written in the originals, and like in the classics, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, I don't know. I like in like Cersei, where we see her have her power and her kind of embrace being the villain, but really her just protecting herself and being powerful. And in stories like that, but I don't necessarily like in a lot of classics where it's like you never hear the voice of the, like marginalized group. But yeah. Okay, I think I missed some chats. I have so many Greek mythology books to read. Ariadne, Hera, Electra, etc. Okay, I did read Ariadne, and I did enjoy it. There were some parts I loved, and then some parts I didn't like. I think the writing style, I think I read it like soon after reading one of Madeline Miller's, and I think I kind of missed like Madeline Miller's beautiful prose because the writing style was a little more modern. Like I think they were calling each other like guy and stuff like that. Um, I thought was like a little modern for like the Greek mythology setting. But there were other quotes I remember that were really beautiful from Ariadne. So if you like Greek mythology, then yeah, I think it could be a fun time, and it is more of like a feminist retelling. Um, and it's called Ariadne, but it does go over like both her and her sister. So I liked her sister more, honestly, like personality wise and the way she was written. Though the ending made me sad, of course. But yeah, Hera, I think, and Electra, I think I have both of those on my TBR too. Electra is by the same person who wrote Ariadne, right? Isn't it like Jennifer Saint? Um, but yeah. Most ardently. Oh. Oh, the main character is trans. How cool. I love Jane Austen. I love Jane Austen as well. If you're looking for trans Regency romance, there was one I read last year. Do I have it in my stacks? What was it? It was Second Chance. Mm, I'm blanking on what it is, but I think I'll have to go back to like my Fable things to see, or maybe it's even on my YouTube. I could probably book club reconnecting. Okay, okay. But there was this Regency Second Chance romance I read last year that was really good. But yeah, Jane Austen. I love Jane Austen. I've read I think all of her books. Pride and Prejudice is definitely my favorite. I just reread that last year. But I want to reread Sense and Sensibility soon because I love the movies for that one. I mean, I love Pride and Prejudice, the adaptation. Like, I saw the movie back when it re-released for like the 15th anniversary or whatever last year. The like 2005 version, or that would have been what, 10th anniversary? I don't know, whatever it was. Is it 2005? I think with Keira Knightley and what's his face. But which it was so cool seeing it in theaters for the re-release because yeah, it's 2005. Because I didn't see it in theaters the first time. Like I just watched it at home because I was, 5 years old when it came out. So we saw it later, like checked it out from the library. But yeah, I adore that movie so much. Keira Knightley is one of my favorite actresses ever. I just love her so much. But yeah, but the Sense and Sensibility adaptations I also love. Also the like field scene where Mr. Darcy comes in Pride and Prejudice at the end when he shows up. Cinema, absolute cinema, love it. But yeah, I want to see, or I want to read Sense and Sensibility again soon because I really like the adaptation for that. The only one of her books I think I didn't like was Mansfield Park. But yeah. Disney retellings, yeah. There's some dark romance Disney retellings that I actually really enjoyed. I think I read like 3 of them by, what was it? Like Emily something. I don't know, but I was surprised. I didn't like the first one, but I liked the second and third one that I read. Oh, you're rereading Emma. Wow. I was thinking about that too because when I first read Emma, I think I thought Emma was kind of like an annoying character or whatever. But I was also in middle school, and I feel like the way that I view her now would probably be different than how I viewed a character like that when I was in middle school. So, yeah, I do want to reread Emma as well. Persuasion I wanted to reread too. Which hot take, I actually love the Netflix satire Persuasion. Love it. Like so many people said that movie was so bad, but I loved it with Dakota Johnson. And specifically the score for that movie, so good. Like the like melancholic feeling that that score gives me is so good. And the visuals talk about cinematic when they're in Bath specifically, like by the water. It's so good. I actually love that movie. And that's the 2022 version that everyone hates because it's satire. But yeah, I do really want to reread Persuasion soon, though. I have like a special edition, like like special like bound, what, not leather, but whatever it is, copy of that. So yeah, so Persuasion and Sense and Sensibility, I'm definitely gonna reread probably in the next couple years, like maybe one in 2027 and then one in 2028. I don't know. The only reason I say that instead of like soon is because I have so many books on my radar for um, the next few months. Like we have the new Divergent book coming out, The Sixth Faction, which I have my Divergent book here as well. And then we have the new Once Upon a Broken Heart book coming out on the same day as the Divergent book on October 6th. So I'm gonna have to read that. And I just reread the first 2 books in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series a few months ago. So I just have the third one to reread and then can read the, next one. And then the last book in the Villain series by V. Schwab is coming out. I think maybe the same day. Maybe that one's the one that's also October 6th. And I actually have an ebook arc for that, so I've actually started that. But that's one of my favorite series ever, the Villain series, and I think we might be reading Vicious next month, by the way the poll was looking. But so I have like so many new releases in the next few months that I'm probably not gonna like be able to read another classic besides the Odyssey, which I think I will read. But besides that, I'm probably not gonna be able to read another classic till early 2027. Yeah, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, I think was the first book we read on the book club. But yeah, that was a fun one. I love vampires. I'm reading the Vampire Diaries series right now. And then I'm going to continue the interview with the vampire, I don't know, whatever, series soon, because season 3 just came out on AMC. So I've been listening to those books. last year. So I'm gonna restart that so that I can be back in the mood and in that world for season 3 of the show, which actually they renamed it for season 3 specifically and named it The Vampire Lestat. So I'm so excited to see that because Lestat is such a diva. He's such a fun vampire. But I definitely recommend that show if you're into vampires, like devastating vampire stories, obsessive vampire stories, and queer vampire stories. And I think V.E. Schwab kind of pulled inspiration from the books in that series for Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil because it was very similar in some aspects. Which book 1 of Interview with the Vampire I didn't like, but after that, the next 2 I absolutely adored. The movie, yeah, I did see the movie too with Tom Cruise, but the show is way better. Way, 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 way better. But yeah. I think there's a movie following like the third book, I think too. But I have not seen that one. But the show, devastating. So good. So, so good. But was there anything about Cersei anyone wanted to talk about? Specifically about the book. I also love hearing what you guys are reading though, and adding stuff to my TBR, and also having ideas for stuff for future polls for the Fable Book Club too. There are some discussion questions I found. This one says, unlike most gods and goddesses, Cersei has great empathy for mortals. In what other ways does Cersei differ from other deities? I feel like Cersei also like she works for it a little bit. Like she, like she's seen as a witch. Like she practices like hands-on magic. Like she gets in the dirt with it. Whereas I feel like the others kind of are just used to being able to do things or like having things and just like innately having the power. Whereas I feel like Cersei has a bit more like she kind of works for it a little more. I would love to read more Margaret Atwood and Sarah Waters. I adore Margaret Atwood. When we read The Handmaid's Tale and The Testaments, stunning. Stunning. And I was so happy to read those with you guys, but stunning. The Handmaid's Tale actually changed my life. Like, that book was just so good. So good. It was invigorating, and I loved that. Sarah Waters. Who is Sarah Waters? Do I know anything by her? Let's see. I don't think I've read anything by Waters. Welcome back. Yeah, I don't think I've read anything by Sarah Waters. What genre does she normally write? Fingersmith and Tipping the Velvet, a sapphic Dickens vibe. That's fun. Emily Dickens was sapphic too. Which, has anyone seen the show Dickinson on, what is it, Prime? No, Apple TV. I watched that recently and it was actually really good and really played into the, oh, totally different vibe then. But I do recommend Dickinson on Apple TV. So good. It actually showed her like having her sapphic love, whereas people are a lot of times like, and they were roommates. The Handmaid's Tale, yes, you do need to read The Handmaid's Tale. It's so good. So good. And then who's seen the show too? Because the show also I thought was fantastic. Like they got to expand so much more. Like season 1 of the show just covers the book, like, and then they expand so much more after that. And I thought like Alexis Bledell's character, the way they handled her storyline in the book with her also being queer, that was like so striking, the way they handled her storyline. And yeah, I felt like the show like got to expand on the book so much. But yeah, although I didn't like the ending, that last season, they got a little with it in my opinion. But yeah, Keira Knightley is my girl in Pride and Prejudice, in the Pirates of the Caribbean, and the Duchess, and just any movie. That's my girl. Emily McIntyre is she the one who did the Disney retellings? Yes. Okay, yeah, that's who I was thinking of. I liked Scarred, Wretched. Yeah, I like Scarred and Wretched, which is the Lion King retelling, and the what was it, Wizard of Oz retelling, I think. Yeah, Wizard of Oz retelling. Yeah, I liked those two by her. I didn't like Hooked. I didn't like how she wrote the female main character in Hooked to like revolve around the guy. But the other two I really liked. Oh, a Romeo and Juliet retelling. I haven't watched the TV show for the Testaments either, but yeah, the book was good. But the Handmaid's Tale show was really good. Speaking of Romeo and Juliet retelling, is that what this Olivia Blake one is? This, what is this? One for My Enemy? I've been meaning to read this. I know it's some sort of retelling. I think it is, right? But a witchy mob-inspired adventure that will excite fans of V.E. Schwab and Leigh Bardugo. And I like both of them. I'm reading Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo right now. Have I read Marissa Meyer's retellings, like Cinder? I haven't read Cinder, but I did read Heartless, which is the Queen of Hearts retelling. Unfortunately, I didn't really love it. I felt like the ending was like anticlimactic. Like at certain points I was enjoying it because the writing was very whimsical, but like plot wise I kind of was like not a fan of how it went down or how it progressed. Invisible Life by Addie LaRue, or Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, is one of my favorite books ever. So good. So good. So much like existentialism, melancholy, Yeah, it hits hard if you are someone who has existential crises, which I do. But yeah, it's very, very good. Highly recommend. And you're reading Divergent now. Awesome. I have my book here. I just reread this a few months ago, so I'm not actually reading it this month with you guys. But I'm gonna go back and look at some of my tabs and put some of my like annotations in the chat in Babel, because yeah, I do want it fresh in my mind for the new book coming out. Villains is on your September TBR, as well as Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. That is a great TBR, seriously. Like, Vicious is such a good book, one of my favorite books ever. I just posted about it on Instagram the other day because I'm like, that book is so freaking good. And then again, Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I also posted about that one back when I read it because it was so, so good. It is slower paced, but if you liked Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, you will like it because it's like the same vibe, just a little more structured. But yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling Vicious is gonna win the poll because it was kind of close, and I know I highly recommend Vicious. So that's definitely the one I'll vote for next month. But yeah. Speaking of September TBR and fall vibes, are you guys ready? I feel like I'm gonna appreciate the last month of summer because my birthday is at the end of the month, and I'm gonna spend some time by the lake since we have the Great Lakes here. And like, I'm really gonna soak up the sun for that lake time and whatnot. And like, I'm going to the Renaissance Fair and want good weather for that. And yeah, I'm gonna do some more outdoor yoga, and there's certain like summery things I still want to do. But I'm also so excited for fall. Like, fall is my favorite season. I cannot wait to bake and have my candles going and rewatch The Vampire Diaries on TV and the new The Vampire Lestat show. And yes, Gilmore Girls. I saw a bookshop in Ohio is doing like a Gilmore Girls weekend next weekend. I feel like it's a bit far from me, but I love the concept. And Pretty Little Liars is another great fall vibey show. And yeah, I'm so ready for that like fall vibe of like reading while it lightly rains outside and it's like kind of dark. And yeah, I'm just so ready for that vibe. I adore it. And I can watch spooky movies like Practical Magic and cozy movies like When Harry Met Sally. And yeah, just all the fall vibes. True, true. We have not talked much about Cersei. Ghosts and haunted stuff. I know I usually read some thrillers in October. But this year, I don't know, because there's just so many new releases. Yes, the quotes in Circe were so good. I have so many. So many underlined. All my past is like today. Monsters and horrors no one wants to hear. I want to hear. Beautiful. It was so simple. If you want it, I will do it. If it would make you happy, I will go with you. Goals. Yeah, autumn is my favorite season as well, by far. But I feel like it only lasts like 2 weeks now because the heat lasts so long. It lasts till like October, and then you get the first snow in like November, at least here. So like I'm not getting the full season that we used to. Oh my gosh, when she confronted her father and said, I have a better idea. I will do as I please, and when you count your children, leave me out. Cersei. Oh my gosh, I just love her. The constellation quote, yeah. He knew he. For me, there was nothing. I would go on through the countless millennia while everyone I met ran through my fingers, and I was left with only those who were like me. And then she heard, then shall God make another. But they were like eggs, each afraid to crack the other. Yeah, the quotes were so good. Two children he had had, and he had not seen either clearly. But perhaps no parent can truly see their child. When we look, we see only the mirror of our own faults. That's interesting. A fixed star, a woman who knew herself. Love that. I grieve that I never met the father everyone told me I had. Yes, when she confronts her, it was so badass. So, so good. Perhaps any child with only his mother for company would have been so imaginative. Why should he be peaceful? I never was, nor his father either. The difference was that he was not afraid to be burnt. So good. My whole life I had waited for tragedy to find me. I never doubted that it would, for I had desires and defiance and powers more than others thought I deserved. All the things that draw the thunderstroke through my step. Insane. Yes, all through history, women's stories have always been minimized and erased. That's why I love books with feminine rage like this. So good. Yeah, definitely. The Greek myths. Yeah, the way the women are like ravaged and like raped and just all sorts of terrible stuff. Or I'm blinking. Medusa, like Medusa's story. Yeah. I've heard Heist is good, with the Little Mermaid retelling. I do want to read that one too. The As If Children Are Sacks of Grain to be substituted one for another. So good. I think I kind of hate Odysseus now after reading the book. So that's interesting because I actually did not hate him. And I was just talking about how, like, I don't like Achilles and the son of Achilles. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of like when she was like loving him in the beginning of the book, I was kind of like, oh, okay. Like, I was feeling his allure too because I think, again, because like it's through her eyes, but also we didn't see him like really harming anyone else in that beginning portion of the book. Kind of unlike how in like the son of Achilles we saw Achilles like letting the girls get taken and whatnot. But then in the end, once he was like possessed by Athena, I think I kind of took it more of like Athena haunting him than like him necessarily like being like that on his own. I kind of saw it more as like the effects of like war, almost like when people like come back from war with PTSD. So I honestly surprisingly did not hate him, which is funny because yeah, I was hating on Achilles. But yeah, I honestly didn't hate Odysseus. Like, obviously I didn't love that he like was cheating on his wife, but I don't know, I didn't hate him as a character. He's also like my brother's favorite character, so I'm curious to see what he thinks of him after reading this book. So I have to discuss that with him next time I see him. Yeah, the stuff from his son's perspective was heartbreaking, for sure. I really did feel bad for his son. Okay, what do we think about the romance between the son and Cersei? I, because I don't know how I feel about that. You know? Like, I don't know. After being with his dad, I feel like it's weird. Like both the dad and the son is wild to me. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was a bit odd, but it is a Greek story, so I guess that's that. It's warm here too, but it's supposed to rain for a week. But all right, guys. It's been like an hour and I do have some stuff to get done. But thank you for joining and thanks for discussing Cersei and so many other things with me. If you'd like to do this again in the future, let me know, and I could do it again for future books or kind of just to discuss book club stuff in general. And yeah, thank you for joining, thank you for commenting, thank you for watching, and yeah, we'll chat more in the book club. So bye.